प्लीज यहाँ पे रहो देखना करो कुछ क्या If you can dream it, you can do it, said by Walt Disney. It is. We, grown-ups, kids alike, still basking in the dreams woven by him. A very good afternoon to all the respected district dignitaries, fellow Toastmasters, role players, contestants, and honorable guests. I, Toastmaster Subya Mashir, am your Chief Sergeant at Arms today. I feel immense pleasure in welcoming you all on this delightful day to witness the much-awaited DTAC 2023 finals of International Speech Contest. What can be more pleasurable than witnessing an erudite speech contest after enjoying the scrumptious lunch arranged at your dining table for your comfort? Dear audience, we talk about propelling progress. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, the phrase propelling progress sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie. Maybe we are all just sitting in a spaceship right now, ready to take off into the future. Let's be real. Progress isn't always as exciting as we want it to be. I mean, have you ever tried to update your computer's operating system? It's like watching paint dry, except paint dries faster. And don't even get me started on trying to navigate a new app on your phone. It's like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. Progress comes in all shapes and sizes. It could be as small as finally getting your mom learn to text with emojis, or as complex as landing a rover on Mars. But progress it is, no matter how big or small. Sometimes progress is scary. I look at a robo intently. It seems it's going to take over the world. It is some Terminator level thing right there. But not to worry about that. Instead, focus on good things progress has brought us, like the ability to binge watch all the episodes of Friends in one sitting. Let's not be scared. Progress is important. Without progress, we'd be living in caves, wondering how to make fire. So let's embrace progress and keep propelling forward, just like our finalists. My dear contestants, may progress always be with you. Let me commence with the mission of the Toastmasters Club. The mission of Toastmasters Clubs is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. The mission of District 105 is we build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. Now, for the smooth conduct of this virtual contest, some rules are to be respected. Please keep the mics on mute and videos switched off at all times, unless advised otherwise. Please keep all the noise-making devices switched off or in silent mode. For the members in this Zoom meeting, please do not switch on your audio or video while the speeches are in progress, as this may disturb the contestants. Only the chief judge, contest chair, and contestants will have their video on at all times. For the audience watching through YouTube channel, please use the chat box to communicate as and when instructed. Speakers are requested to refrain from speaking about politics, sex, or religion in their speeches. We all love appreciations and encouragement, don't we? Well, dear audience, please remember to use the chat box on YouTube and appreciate speakers after their speeches and share the link with all your dear ones. Now, let me call upon a highly accomplished person in the field of public speaking, not only a member of many Toastmaster clubs, but also holding vital positions. He is the Division C director as well. an engineer by profession who has faith in actions. He believes that actions speak louder than words. He wishes that his name should be remembered for the action that he had taken towards the fraternity, not by the positions he was in. He is a biking and hiking enthusiast, a polyglot having the knowledge of 5 languages, a very supportive husband, the father of a cute little girl. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome our Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster, Devi Narayan. Over to you, Master of Ceremonies. The screen is all yours, sir.
Thank you very much, Madam Subia Mushir. That was a wonderful and lovely introduction. And those, in regards to the cute daughter and wife, that directly came from your heart. Thank you for such a warmly loved words. Now let me just give a brief of who Sabia Mushir is. She is a science graduate and an MBA in marketing. She is an educator by profession. She has joined in Chandana Toastmasters Club 6 months before to pursue her love of public speaking. She is an avid reader and fiction. She loves it. And she firmly believes that fear of failure kills all our dreams. So she recommends to do us the things that we fear the most. And we will all see that fear disappear. Thank you very much once again, Toastmaster Subia Mushir. Good afternoon, district dignitaries, area directors, division directors, guests, and the contestants, and my dear role players. We are all gathered here to witness the mega event of annual speech contest, Propelling Progress, District 105, DTAC 2023. Just a glimpse of what DTAC is. DTAC 2023 is a bilingual speech contest in Arabic and English for humorous, evaluation, table topics, and international speech categories. And it is my privilege to be the master of ceremonies for today and for this wonderful, exciting segment. Today, in this segment, we are going to have international speeches. There is going to be a wonderful keynote address and words of wisdom from our club growth directors. Looking forward to all of this. While the theme was made Propelling Progress, I stepped upon this story. In a small village, there lived a person called as Max. And Max wanted to always progress ahead in his life. But he didn't have the resources. One day in his old warehouse, he saw a very old rusted bicycle, which was used by his grandfather. He thought about what could we do about this, and an idea struck. He started to add gears, levers, and collection of shiny gadgets to this old bicycle. Max's creation was complete. A magnificent pedal-powered machine capable of generating electricity. And eager to test his invention, Max pedaled it with all his might, generating a surge of power that lit the whole workshop. And the way that he put it forward, this message of his idea and invention spread like a wildfire within the town. My dear fellow Toastmasters, even the smallest of ideas, if we have that in our mind to propel towards progress and put that actions into place, I'm sure we will be an inspiring inventor, entrepreneur, and dreamers like these very contestants who have dreamed of becoming and reaching to a stage of public speaking. And I wish them all the very best. To move forward, with us, we have a wonderful person who will be taking us as the contest chair. I was interacting with her to get to know more about her. She has been fondly called as RJ in the online world. She's a typical Mumbai, and she moved into Dubai and fell in love with this city. And she has been there for a decade now. And she is currently working with Swan as business development manager. She has been in Toastmasters for 3 years, and she is a part of Arabian Dreams Toastmasters Club. She is holding various positions in her club and also area. And within this 3 years, she has already been MC for the last 2 years. And here today, she is going to deliver her hat-trick performance as the contest chair in DTAC 2023. Let us put our hands together and welcome the widely known RJ, Tulika Pradeep. Ma'am, the stage is all yours. Please take it away.
Thank you, awesome over there. I wouldn't have got a better introduction than this. And definitely you make me sound so special on stage. Thank you so much for that. Good afternoon, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. District Director, District Program Quality Director, District Club Pro Directors, Division Directors, Area Directors, dignitaries, fellow Toastmasters, and guests who are watching us live right now on YouTube. A very good afternoon to all of you. In the last 3 years that I've been a part of Toastmasters, if there was one thing that I was so craving for, was nothing but this contest. International Finals of District 105 2023. Not being a contestant, I know is different, but I propelled myself by being a contest chair for this spectacular event today. This being a pivotal and the most important prize, the most important contest, there's no prizes for guessing. The contestant who is going to win this contest today is going to represent us in District 105 at regional quarterfinals. Then that contestant will go to semifinals. And who knows, we will have the world champion of public speaking amongst us. In the words of Seneca, he says, the greater part of progress is to desire the progress. So, my dear contestants, embrace the power of your voice. For within it lies the ability to move hearts, ignite the change, and shape a better future for all of us. Let your words be a beacon toward inspiration, and that progresses and propels progress and creates a lasting impression on the world stage. So, my dear contestants, before we proceed, let me start by introducing none other than a dynamic chief judge who we have here today with us, who's none other than DTM Gurbinder Singh Pun. Hello, sir. Thank you. And please join me in having a huge round of applause for our chief judge, please. Thank you,
Madam Contest.
Thank you, sir. So now let us look at the rules of the contest. The contestants shall have 5 to 7 minutes to deliver their speech. A contestant will be disqualified if the speech is less than 4 minutes and 30 seconds or more than 7 minutes and 30 seconds. The contestants have been informed of the timing signal. But for the benefit of the audience, I would request the timer to please come on screen while I mention the timing signals. The green light will be turned on after 5 minutes and will remain on. The yellow light will be turned on after 6 minutes and will remain on. The red light will be turned on after 7 minutes and will remain on till the speech is completed. No indication will be given to the contestants if he or she exceeds the time limits. Timing will begin with the contestants' first definitive verbal or non-verbal communication with the audience. Now, let us look at technical pictures. Since we are online, there might be some. So it's very important for you to be aware about it. If the contestant loses a connection during the speech, the contest chair or chief judge will stop the contest.
Contestant, sorry. Contestant, sorry. I think there's a lot of cracking and disturbance in your sound. Zoom Master, can you help to do an audio check, please, once again? Sorry, contestant, the voice is really, very gruff and not very clear. So I think we need an audio check even for you. Zoom Master, can I request you to do an audio check again? Thank you.
Sure. Can you hear me, Zoom Master?
Just a minute, I am putting into the waiting breakout room.
Sure. Sure.
Can you speak?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. And my apologies for the disturbance that all of you faced. It was completely unintentional. So let me start again and let me go on from the timing of the speech. So just a minute. Okay, so let's start from the technical glitch. So the technical glitches, as I already faced one, it's extremely important to share the technical glitches that you might face as well. So if a contestant loses a connection during the speech, the contest chair or chief judge will stop the contest. Timer 1 will stop and take note of the time. The contestant will be given 4 minutes to connect back. The contestant will be paused till the contestant connects back. The contest will be paused. If the contestant connects in 4 minutes time, the contestant picks up from the last word and doesn't get any grace period. If the contestant is not able to connect in 4 minutes of time, I will proceed with the next contestant. Judges will judge the contestant based on the portion of the speech that they heard. If the last speaker loses connection, he or she will be given 7 minutes to connect back. Protests may only be registered by the contestants to either the chief judge, DTM Gurbinder Singh Pul, or to myself as contest chair before the contest is adjourned.
Madam Contest Chair,
Yes.
just a small correction there. In
Sure.
case of the technical glitch, the contestant has to restart the speech from the beginning of the speech.
Sure. Sure, sir. Okay. Noted. Thank you, sir. I hope contestants have taken a note of that. Now let's move on. There will be 1 minute of silence after each contestant for the judges to complete their ballots. So you will all be on mute. During the 1 minute of silence period, we thought of an innovative way to engage you during this period. We will be sharing a beautiful storyline to you in 6 different slides during the 1 minute of silence, wherein the story will progressively continue with the moral of the story at the very end. And in case you missed out on any slides, during the 3-minute silence, we will show you all the slides again, so you can engage in the story continuously. So, my dear audience and contestants and role players and everyone watching us live on YouTube, are you ready to experience something new in DTAC 2023? So let's go ahead and move on with the contest. I'm sure all of you are waiting for this time. So my dear contestants, please come on camera. And when I introduce you, please switch on the camera. We have 6 contestants competing today. Please allow me to introduce them in the speaking order as determined by draw of lots. I will announce the names of the contestants and they are requested to please respond by saying hi as his or her name is called out. So let's begin. So the first contestant of today, just a minute, great. Our first contestant for today is Toastmaster Devi Narayan. Hi.
Hi, Contest Chair. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you. Contestant number 2, Toastmaster Harish Buji. Hi. Can you, yeah.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you. Contestant number 3, Toastmaster Banastri B. Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. Thank you. Toastmaster, contestant number 4, Toastmaster Yusuf A. Hi, Toastmaster Yusuf.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you. Toastmaster, okay, contestant number 5, Toastmaster Hashem Halim. Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Hi. The last contestant, contestant number 6, Toastmaster Issa. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Great. Thank you so much. These are the eminent contestants for international finals. May I please request Zoom Master to capture this wonderful moment?
Madam Contest Chair, I cannot see contestant number 4 on the screen. Is it just me or he's not there?
He is here. Contestant
I
number 4.
could hear him, but I can't see him.
Okay. Contestant number 4, can you unmute yourself?
Yusuf A. I can hear him, but I can't see him. Oh, now he's there. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Carry on, please.
Thank you. Chief Judge, would you like to join us for a picture, please? Thank you. Zoom Master, can you please capture the moment? Done. Thank you. Thank you so much. Audience, let's give a huge round of applause to all the contestants and wish them all the very best. Now, let's talk about the eligibility of the contest. To be eligible for a contestant must be a Toastmaster in good standing in a club. Not only that, the contestant should not be a current district or international officer, nor should have declared the intent to run for district or international office. I confirm that all contestants are eligible to compete. During the contest, I will introduce each contestant by announcing the contestant's name, then the speech title, repeating the speech title, and then contestant's name. So, all of you, are you ready? Zoom Master and timers, are you ready? And contestants, are you ready and geared up to deliver the international final performance? Audience, I'm sure you all are ready as well to witness an outstanding contest. So, Chief Judge, can I seek your permission to begin the contest?
Madam Contest Chair, please begin the contest. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Great. So now is the time to begin the contest and call our first contestant. So, Toastmaster Devi Narayan, can I please have you on screen? Thank you. Yes. Great. Perfect. Toastmaster Devi Narayan, can you please confirm if you can see the timers on the screen?
Yes, Contest Chair, I can see the timers.
Perfect. Fantastic. Can you please repeat a test sentence after me? I am champion.
I am champion.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I confirm you're audible and visible. Contestant number 1, Toastmaster Devi Narayan. All that we have, Toastmaster Devi Narayan, contestant number 1. Over to you.
Do you have a lucky ritual? I have one. Being late. Trust me, have you ever met someone who was late for the first day of their very first job? I was. Glancing at my watch, juggling with a big bag that had everything under the sun. The ladies would know what I mean. I ran into the elevator. Fortunately, a man with a big bag, bigger smile, and even bigger belly held the elevator open. While getting out, I noticed a struggle between his bag and his belly to come out first. Fortunately, the belly succeeded. Contest Chair, esteemed judges, fellow Toastmasters, good afternoon. That day, after the induction, I was shown my seat. Guess who was on the next seat? Right, the man with the big belly. Though not as big as some of the ones in this virtual room. I didn't know then that this big-bellied man, Frederick, would later play an important role in my life. On his work desk was a family photo. As I glanced towards it, he said, "Oh, that's a 5-year-old picture. The kids have grown taller. But my wife looks younger now." And with pride in his eyes, he said, "They are all I have." Frederick and I became good friends. He became my go-to person for snacks. Now you know the reason for his big belly. As time passed, I started admiring Frederick for his hard work and meticulous planning. But what I loved most in him was his passion towards life. He had planned everything, including his children's education. He would say, "The first one wants to do medical school then. I'll send him home back to the Philippines. The second one wants to do journalism. I think I'll send him to the UK. The third one, very lazy, like his mother." At work, Frederick was a star performer. He was indeed the go-to person, not only for snacks, but for guidance too. But Frederick was a workaholic and would put in long working hours, sacrificing family time. Whenever I asked him, he would say, "Oh, after all, I'll retire at 50 and would then have all the time in the world to travel with my family." Frederick had a zest for life and clearly looked forward to the future. February 2nd, 2 days before his 48th birthday, his wife and 3 children were killed in a tragic car accident. In the blink of an eye, his world changed. While he was away, I kept looking at his work desk and that family photo. His words, "They are all I have," kept echoing in my ears. When he returned, understandably, he was no longer a star performer. Work stress, personal setbacks impacted his health, and he was under medical treatment for months. That same year, I lost my grandfather. Now, my childhood holidays were filled with memorable trips to my grandparents in India. My grandfather, though extremely strict with his daughter, my mom, would yield to all my demands. As I started working, my visits became less frequent. Devi, when will I get to see you? Very soon, Grandpa. I thought I had time. But the truth is, time waits for no one. Zora Hurston had said, there are years that ask questions and years that answer. That year, Frederick's story and my experiences made me ask several questions. The most profound question was, is there anything permanent in life? I reflected at my own life from childhood to now. Even the slightest defeats used to tear me apart, and the tiniest victories used to enthrall me. My mother's words came to my rescue. Life is like an ocean with waves that make you go up and down. When you are up, you feel you have everything. And when you're down, you feel you have nothing. But the truth is, both these feelings have no value because there is nothing that was or will be forever yours. All your possessions, accomplishments, friends might not be there with you always. Your only real possession is now. But what do you and I do? We keep complaining about the past, worrying about the future, and comparing our lives with others. I often say, her Instagram is more happening than mine. We forget that life is a unique journey, not a competition. We forget that this moment, whether beautiful or ugly, will not last forever. Friends, put hands on your heart and think. Do you want to spend your time regretting about the past that's over, or worrying about an uncertain future? Or do you want to live your life to the fullest with your loved ones today? Bob Marley rightly said, some people feel the rain, others just get wet. Step out of the rat race, feel the rain, smell the roses. Friends, the moment past is no longer there. The future may never be. The only thing that you and I have for certain is this very moment. Grasp it, embrace it, and celebrate it, knowing that this is all that you and I have. Contestant.
Thank you, Toastmaster Devi. Now I would request you to please accept the participation certificate.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll observe 1 minute of silence for judges to mark their ballots. Thank you, timer.
Wait for a second. Backup timer, can you please switch on your video?
Can you show your timing cards as well? Timer 1 and 2.
Backup timer, can you please switch on your
Zoom Master, timer 1 and 2 are good to go, right? Timer 1, can you see the cards? Timer 1, are you there? Timer 2? Okay, timer 2 is showing cards. What about timer 1? Timer 1, are you there? Zoom Master? Here. Just a minute, audience. We are going to be back. We are just checking the timing. We apologize for this. Timer 1, are you there? Chief Judge, can we go ahead with timer 2?
Please wait, Madam Contest Chair. Both the timers should be fully functional before we go ahead.
Sure, noted. MC, would you like to come on screen while we wait? Yes. How are you, Toastmaster? How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. So we are in the midst of the contest, and we both do not know how we are getting sorted it out. Just I was curious to ask you, people call you as RJ. Why is it so?
It's my dream to become an RJ radio jockey one day. I'm manifesting it, and it's getting manifested automatically.
Hopefully, we all together will pray for it, and one day you will definitely become an RJ.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the kind words.
Thank you. I do have some requests, since we were talking about RJ, I do have some requests from the audience here. They wanted us, you to sing a song. But, as RJ, we do not sing songs. That's what, I just want to tell those audience who are listening right now. But rather, why don't you show us your RJing skills with your video off and take us away for a couple of while we sort this technical glitch?
We could do it together. Why don't you start and I'll follow.
Good evening, welcome. This is District 105's very own FM, DTAC 2023 Propelling Progress. And I'm here with RJ Thulika Prateep. Let's go ahead and hear from her what's in the store for us. Madam, how is the traffic in Dubai?
I stay in Sharjah, so traffic is terrible. What about you? How is the traffic in Oman?
We are blessed. The longest time that it takes is half an hour from point A to point B, no matter the distance.
Wow, that's fantastic.
I did see an update coming in. It's 41 degrees out there. You
Oh,
guys are
yes.
really lucky.
Yes, indeed, we are lucky. We don't need a heater. We just need to be here and we feel the heat, and we're already feeling the heat.
Right now in Muscat, yesterday it was reaching up to 48 degrees, and with 41, you are definitely 7 degrees cooler than us. So be happy for it.
Oh, yes, we are definitely happy. We are sitting indoors, enjoying the AC and having ice cream. I think that's the next thing on my agenda after we are done with the contest.
Well, that's
You
good.
can come on screen. We can see you.
Thank you. That's good. You know, you having a ice cream after a long day. That's really wonderful. I wish I could have that, but then, you know, I'm restricted. I
Timer
cannot have
1, timer 2 ready? Can you please show the cards red, green, yellow? Timer 1.
Great.
Timer 1 also please show the cards. Make sure that you are there.
Timer 1, do you need any help?
Timer 1, are you there? Thank you, awesome over there, for keeping us entertained.
Pleasure is all mine.
That's lovely. I think we are still fixing the timing. I'm so sorry for the audience who's watching us live right now on YouTube. But if they are lucky, they are getting to listen to us.
They should say whether they are lucky. Just wanted to touch up on a thing. You know, I'm just getting some tweets around as we are doing this RJ. You know, there has been a big confession, or what do they say it? And no, that Dubai has been doing wonderful cloud seeding so that you get reduced temperature. Is that right?
Absolutely. In fact, in the evenings, it's so beautiful. And the weather is so pleasant. In fact, yesterday in the morning when I stepped out, I was sweating, and in the night it was so pleasant. I went for a walk. So it's wonderful. See, Dubai is working towards building a future together where we don't have to worry about the heat. So all Oman people should shift to Dubai.
No, thank you. We are in the way we are natural, and we look forward to the greener environment rather than adding silver nitrate into the cloud and making it shower. It is just a quick fix, but that we are not into. We are happy with the mountains that we have and the curves of the roads and wonderful rides that you can, if you have a two-wheeler or even a car.
Right. I heard about the two-wheeler thing. Do you want to speak more about it? Do you take a ride sometime to Dubai as well, or you're just in Oman?
I've been up to Sohar, not further. I guess we have the second timer sorted out, but not at up to Dubai. But then, you know, quite some long distance rides I've done.
Great. I think probably next time you can come here and all DTAC role players could catch up and can have a connection and hang out together. Though I don't ride a bike, I would love to one day, but we can probably meet. I'll drive a car and you can ride a bike, and maybe we can have others as well. I think we have another timer in place here.
Yes, I guess it is Toastmasters.
Great.
We have two timers now. Timer 2.
Yes, timer 2 and timer backup. Timer 1, yeah, great.
I guess we are all set. Please go ahead and take it away.
Thank you. Awesome over there once again. Great. Timer 2, can we see your cards as well, please, before we proceed? Okay, timer 2, I didn't see the red card. Okay, great. Great. Chief Judge, I would like to take your permission once again to begin.
Yes, Madam Contest Chair, please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Fantastic. Contestant number 2, can you please come on screen? Thank you. Perfect. Great. So our second contestant today is Toastmaster Harish Buji. Please confirm that timer 1 and timer 2 screens are visible.
Yes, they are visible.
Great. Thank you for the confirmation. Contestant number 2, Toastmaster Harish Buji. Please repeat the statement after me. I am the champion.
I am the champion.
Thank you. Can you please repeat again because there's some echo? Can you repeat again?
I am the champion.
Perfect. Great. I confirm you're audible and visible. Contestant number 2, Toastmaster Harish Buji. Now to wow. Now to wow. Toastmaster Harish Buji, contestant number 2.
A bird in hand is better than 2 in the bushes. I'm sure there would be many in the audience who know this adage. But tell me one thing, is there anyone in the audience who is like me? Someone who pitches his hope, his happiness, his anticipation on the birds in the bushes? In the process, he lets go of the bird in hand, lets go of the opportunity in hand. Contest chair, fellow contestants, respected judges, and my dear fellow Toastmasters. My father, Bidgi Ramachandra. He was an accomplished artist. Like the great Michelangelo, he too was adept in working in various mediums, right from clay to canvas. Few years back, when he was staying with me in Middle East, rather a few decades back, when he was staying with me, he had painted one oil portrait of the ruler of the country. And my father wanted to present it personally to His Highness. So we approached the palace office. They obliged. They invited us to palace. My father and myself, we made it to palace, and my father was able to personally present the painting to His Highness. His Highness had a close look at the painting. And after some time, he led us to his private chamber. As we entered the private chamber, we saw there was one more portrait of his on the wall. Few years ago, I had commissioned one Italian artist to do this for me. How is it, Mr. Ramchandra? Beautiful, sir. No, Mr. Ramchandra. Today, I'm going to remove this painting from here and replace it with a painting done by you. My dear friends, that was probably one of the best compliments my dad had ever received for his professional work. I was on cloud 9 because I always knew that my dad's work was at par with the works of all these Italian greats like Da Vinci, like Michelangelo. In fact, when we were going home from palace in the car, I told my dad, Dad, sometimes I feel that you are Michelangelo resurrected, reborn. My dad laughed, patting me on my back. He said, come on, you can't compare me with that great Italian master. By the way, you are my David, my best creation. David? A pot-bellied David? I'm sure someone there in the audience is having a hearty laugh looking at this David, who looks more like the burly Australian cricketer David Boone. Friends, this conversation had taken place nearly 30 years ago. The day when I had decided that I would take my parents to Italy, because I wanted my father to visit all those places where the works of these great Italian masters are still standing. 30 years ago, a fresh engineering graduate lands in Middle East, takes up a job as a sales executive. You can very well guess the kind of salary he would have drawn. I could have embarked on this trip then and there itself had I stretched my wallet, pinched my purse. But then I thought, let me give myself 2 years of time so that I could accumulate enough kitty to make this trip more comfortable for my parents. But after 2 years, things changed. There was a marriage in my family. My parents could not leave India, so I had to postpone trip to Italy. After 2 more years, I got married, so I had to postpone trip to Italy. After a year or so, my eldest son was born. I had to postpone trip to Italy. Year after year, I was postponing trip to Italy for want of time, for want of additional funds. Friends, today, as I stand before you, I can confidently vouch that today I can embark on any trip, anywhere, anytime, any place, with anybody. But for my dad, I lost him. He left us a few years ago, leaving all those sweet memories behind for us to cherish. And that guilt feeling in my mind that I could not fulfill a small wish of taking him to the land of great masters. I wish I knew the power of now. I wish I could cherish the present moment. I wish I knew that tomorrow I cannot own it. Today is all that is mine. I have to make it or break it into something more divine. I wish I had not let go of the bird in hand. Friends, all that we have is now this moment, the present moment. Our life tends to become more meaningful moment we realize that this moment is never going to repeat twice in your life. 2 months back, I was extremely busy, hopping in and out of Dubai many times because my eldest son had decided to relocate himself to India. He had taken up a job in India, a new country, new place, new company, new friends for him. So we wanted him to settle quickly and comfortably. Meanwhile, my club had announced annual speech contest. For a moment, I thought, let me skip it this year. I will try next year. But soon did I realize the mistake which I was about to commit once again. Mistake of letting go of the opportunity in hand. I have realized life has to be lived in this moment because rest everything is uncertain. Remember, dear friends, all you have is now this moment, the present moment. All you have to do is to grab it, make it into something big so that tomorrow when you look back, you yourself will be amazed that you have converted yesterday's now into today's wow. In the words of Michael Jordan, live in the moment for the moment. Remember, a bird in hand is better than the 2 in the bush. Push. Contest chair.
Thank you. Zoom Master, please. Toastmaster Harish, please accept the participation certificate. Okay, thank you. Now we'll observe 1 minute of silence for judges to mark their ballots. Thank you. Okay. Our third contestant is Toastmaster Banastri Banerjee. Please confirm, Toastmaster Banastri Banerjee, are you there? Okay, thank you. Great, hi. Please confirm if timer 1 and timer 2 screens are visible to you.
Yeah, both are visible.
Perfect, thank you. Contestant number 3, Toastmaster Banastri Banerjee. Please repeat the statement after me. I am the champion.
I am the champion.
Great. Thank you. I'll confirm that you're audible and visible. Contestant number 3, Toastmaster Banastri Banerjee. The cocktail. The cocktail, Toastmaster Banastri Banerjee. Contestant number 3.
Do you think you need a magic spell to create a cocktail? No. All you need is to find the perfect balance between all its ingredients. Some of the ingredients of a cocktail may be bitter, but the moment you find a nice blending with the other better components, it makes the cocktail amazingly magical. Contest here. Good afternoon. Just like this cocktail, I am a cocktail myself, but I was a notorious one during my childhood days. I was filled up with anger, aggression, and so much so that my mother always used to feel and ask me questions. Where have you inherited this behavior from? I know it is from your father's side. Have you also heard this kind of sentences from your mother? Yes, I was filled with anger, aggression in ample doses. But they say that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Mama, do you know that? Yes, I had a lot of fire inside me. But the fuel to the fire was added when my boyfriend, Sunil, came into my life. He was just like me. He was the wild and the rebellious person, and the entire college campus used to be afraid of him. He accepted me the way I am. You know why? We both were almost like the similar poles of physics. They state that the similar like poles, they repel. But both of us, we created a lot of chemistry, physics, biology, and even static electricity, which shocked my mom to the core. The person whom I loved and I wanted to marry, my mother could not accept her at all. She said that this boy is going to ruin your life. Ma, I know what I'm doing. You just cannot tell me what to do every time, Ma. I know how to deal my life. And if you cannot lead and if you cannot accept, just get out of my life. She walked out of the room that day. Little did I know that she was walking out of my life too. And I walked out with my boyfriend, Sunil. There was a deafening silence in my life for a few months. And there came my little angel, Ria, in my life. The master bartender, he concocted a beautiful cocktail for me with lots of extras, lots of extra chromosomes, lots of extra complexities. Yes, there are certain bitter elements in a cocktail, but so much bitter, well, I was not ready to accept. I am ashamed to accept that night I wanted to run away from the hospital or just wanted to leave her alone. And I must admit, I did something like that night. I called the nurses. Can you please take this child away? They were about to come and take her out of my life. when I told them, stop, stop. And for the first time, I looked at her eyes and I realized that her eyes were almost whispering and trying to tell me that, Ma, I'm strong when I'm on your shoulders. Raise me up to more than I can be. And that was the moment I realized that it is just not me, my terms and my conditions. My rebellious nature melted down and started an unwavering determination to bring this child up. All my anger, aggression took a backseat. Me, my life was all inside her. And I realized this is not what I wanted my life to be. In her attempt to change, she changed me. I became a better human being. I progressed to a better human being. All my anger just washed away. Today, when I see Ria coming down from the school bus, walking and telling me Happy Mother's Day every single day, I know I can understand the cocktail she has become. My dear friends, we are all cocktails of different ingredients. Some of them are bitter, but when you blend them with the better ingredients of your life, you realize a beautiful cocktail comes out of it. You and me, we talk with each other, we give a sip of drink that we are. And you never know when you become one of the poisonous cocktail which nobody wants to have a sip of. Are you trying to become one of them, or want to think before you speak and think before you act and think and put a lot of kindness and acceptance in your cocktail before you give a sip to the others? If you can add a little bit of all these ingredients in your cocktail, I'm sure it will become a beautiful one and it will embrace the earth, the world with so much of care and love and acceptance. My side of the story is this. What are you making today? What kind of cocktail are you blending today? Do you have the bitter one or the better one? Over to you, contest chair.
Thank you, Toastmaster Banastri. Please accept the participation certificate. Thank you. Now let us continue during this second 1 minute of silence. And remember, the story will continue in the slides. Now 1 minute of silence for judges to mark their ballots. Thank you. Thank you. Timers, can we please see the cards? Timer 1. Thank you. Timer 2, can we see the cards as well, please? Perfect. Thank you. Great. Our next contestant is contestant number 4. Contestant number 4, Toastmaster Yusuf Al-Awadi. Please confirm that timer 1 and timer 2 screens are visible to you.
Yes, they are visible.
Thank you. Contestant number 4, Toastmaster Yusuf Alawadi. Please repeat the statement after me. I am the champion.
I am the champion.
Thank you. I confirm you're audible and visible. Contestant number 4, Toastmaster Yusuf Alawadi. Genie in a bottle. Genie in a bottle. Toastmaster Yusuf Alawadi. Contestant number 4.
We were all children once, running and screaming, dancing and singing, having wishes and dreams. I remember when I was 7 years old, locked up in my apartment in the middle of the desert in Dubai. Long, lonely summer holidays. One summer afternoon, I was watching the cartoon Aladdin and how he laid his hands on the genie lamp. Wow, I thought to myself, if I could get that genie lamp and all the wishes that the genie could fulfill for me. Ha ha ha, your wish is my command. I would travel the world with my parents, buy everyone in school a beautiful gift and be the most popular kid in school and get my mother a big house. Soon after that, the song Genie in a Bottle by Christina Aguilera was released. Her dashing blonde hair, deep, beautiful blue eyes, vanilla skin. She moved on the screen like a vanilla cookie, and my eyes rolled watching her like a cookie monster, drooling. I rushed up to my father, grabbing his shirt. Papa, Papa, I want that one, Papa. Give me that one, Papa. He smiled and said, son, I'm proud of you, but you're too young for that. Papa, you're not listening. The genie lamp, please, Papa. Ah, he sighed and smiled in relief. Went to the market and got me the most beautiful genie lamp he could get. In my own privacy, I opened the lamp. But Christina was not there. Yet I kept the lamp next to my bed, making wishes every night before I went to sleep. In few months, school started and I was 8 years old, wearing my white shirt, navy blue pants, sitting in the classroom amongst my fellow students. Unfortunately, as soon as the class started, I felt the urge to go to the washroom. Raised up my hand, walked up to the teacher and whispered, Miss Muna, can I go to the washroom, please? Yusuf, the class just started. Go back to your seat. So I did. In a few minutes, the pain hit my bladder. I had to raise up my hand and ask a second time, Miss Muna, please, I really need to go. I'm afraid I can't hold it. Can I please? Stop playing games, Yusuf. I'm warning you. And I went back again. As time passed, I gathered all the courage I had to ask a third time, hoping this time she'll let me go. As I approached her desk, she suddenly yelled, stop! Asked me to stand in front of the class as a punishment and recite verses of the Holy Quran. As soon as I uttered the first few words, tears started rolling down my cheeks as I realized that I had wet myself. The compassion in the eyes of my fellow students did not ease my pain and shame. And Miss Muna, out of the fear of losing her job, pushed me out of the classroom to go clean up myself so no one would notice. In tears of agony and pain and shame, I walked up to the next building where the washrooms were. Luckily, the cleaning lady was there. She noticed what happened, came close, laid her hands on my shoulder, looked me in the eye, rubbing my chest, and said, son, you wish this pain to go away? Your wish is your command. I'll help you. Go to the washroom. Following her instructions, I gave her my pads. She washed it, and within minutes, knock, knock, handed them back clean. I took a walk in the sun to dry my pants and my tears, wishing that this had never happened and that this would never, ever happen to me again in my life. The years passed, and life does not go according to one's wishes and dreams. And as I was growing up, so were my wishes and dreams. Yet, like most people, I fell in love for the first time. And knock, knock, I was left with a broken heart. I opened my heart and soul to people I assumed I could trust and call friends. Knock, knock, I was left with a broken heart, not able to trust anyone anymore, blocked. I opened the business for 7 years, wishing to make success out of myself. Knock, knock, having to shut it down after that. Knock, knock. Why does life keep knocking all my wishes down? Took a deep breath in and felt my heartbeat knocking on my chest. And I recalled the words of the cleaning lady. Your wish is your command. There is no genie in a lamp. No one out there is going to lend me a hand to fulfill my wishes. My soul is the genie, and my mind and body are seeking to fulfill my own wishes, expressing them to the best of my abilities. With this vigor of understanding, I approach life stronger. And the next time life tried to knock me down like a Britney Spears song saying, oops, I did it again, I would say, baby, hit me one more time. And the next time life tried to drag me to my knees, I would stare it in the eye. I'm still standing. And the next time I would come this close to failure, I would feel my heartbeat and remember, it's my wish and my command to fight till the end, regardless of the consequence. With this attitude, I traveled the world and learned from the best teachers across the globe. And I even went on a spiritual journey of more than 40 days in silence. And finally, I met my beautiful wife, who made me feel happier than a Cookie Monster. Ladies and gentlemen, we all have wishes and dreams, and life knocks most of our wishes and dreams sometimes. I could be a pretentious salesman and tell you, if you get this genie lamp today, it can fulfill most of your wishes and make most of your worries go away. But that would be a lie. Instead, I leave you with the truth of this message. The next time you come this close to failing or this close to a challenging situation and you're about to give up, feel your heartbeat knocking on your chest. Because it could be the genie in you, shaking you, wanting you to fulfill your own dreams. Knock, knock. The genie in me is waking up the genie in you. Your wish is your command. Over to you.
Thank you. Toastmaster Yusuf A, please accept the participation certificate. Thank you. Now let us continue the story during 1 minute of silence. 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Thank you, timer. The next contestant, contestant number 5, is Toastmaster Hashem Halim. Toastmaster Hashem Halim, can you please confirm if both the timers are visible to you?
Yes, timer 1 and timer 2 are visible to me.
Thank you for the confirmation. Contestant number 5, Toastmaster Hashem Halim, please repeat the test sentence after me. I am the champion.
I am the champion.
Thank you. I confirm you're audible and visible. Contestant number 5, Toastmaster Hashem Halim, it's all your fault. It's all your fault. Toastmaster Hashem Halim, contestant number 5.
It's all your fault. I'm aiming the finger of blame at that one. You know the one who keeps you waiting, anticipating salivating. Yup, you guessed it. The pizza delivery guy. Respected contest master, esteemed judges, and all my hungry friends. It's one of those days at work. Long, hectic, a royal pain in the arm. Having skipped lunch, I get home so hungry, my stomach is growling, louder than a lion on steroids. To save my sanity, I order my favorite pizza from Domino's. The app says delivery in 40 minutes. 40 minutes are up, and the food still not here. I check the tracker, the pizza guy, still at the pizza place. I frantically call him. He says, starting now, sir. What? I'm hungry enough to eat an elephant, and he hasn't started yet. Oh. Finally, the little bike starts moving, but it's moving slower than a snail with arthritis. I call him again. He says, traffic, sir, traffic. I've lost it and I let loose. What? My beard grows faster than you move. If I die of hunger, it's all your fault. You see how grumpy I get when I'm hungry? When things have gone wrong in your life, have you aimed the finger of blame? As I wait, I'm reminded of another time when I had to wait for my food. I was in the 7th grade. It was the day of our big school football game. And I was the next Maradona in my mind. I rushed home for lunch, changed my clothes, and charged to the dining table, commanding, Mom, give me lunch. The reply came, I'm still cooking, son. Please wait. Wait? Me? Nah, need food now. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, still no food. I screamed, Mom, need food pronto. Mom replies, I'm still cooking, son. Have a heart. Have a heart? I have a stomach and it's growling loudly. I've lost it. And I let loose. Mom, why didn't you start cooking sooner? If I don't play well, it's all your fault. And I storm out of the house, bang, slamming the door. My mom calls out for me. Did I care? And I rush to my game. When I reach the football field, my cousin Hafiz comes around to me. Hash, hash, hash. Did you hear what happened to grandma? No? She fell down the stairs and hurt her back today morning. Thankfully, your mom came over and took care of her till the doctor came. Oh my God. My whole world came crashing down. What have I done? As I got home that evening, I was too ashamed to go in. I kept thinking how I had blamed Mom. It's all your fault. Nothing could undo what I had said, and I hated myself. I sat on the curb all evening. It was getting dark, but it was darker still in my heart. Till Mom came out looking for me. And when she saw me, she put her arms around me and said, come, let's have dinner. At that moment, I couldn't hold back my tears. And I told her, Mom, I'm so sorry for blaming you. Ever blamed someone and then felt sorry? While these feelings are filling my heart, ding dong, the doorbell rings. Guess who? The pizza guy with my food, finally, fashionably late. As I take my pizza in, I see him waiting there longingly for a tip. A tip for being an hour late. I want to slam the door. But I remember my mistake with Mom. And I hear her words, have a heart. So I reach for my wallet and I give him a tip. Friends, when things go wrong, it's easy to aim the finger of blame. But what has blaming ever given us? It's invited hatred, incited violence, and ignited wars. But in this world of raising voices and pointing fingers, we, my friends, have a choice. A choice to have kindness. A choice to have understanding. A choice to have a heart. So the next time, when things go wrong, at work, at home, or even with the pizza delivery, and you want to aim that finger of blame and scream, it's all your fault, remember, how you treat others is what sets you apart. And you're at your best when you have a heart. Contest chair.
Thank you. Toastmaster Hashem, please accept the participation certificate.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll continue the story during 1 minute of silence. We'll observe 1 minute of silence for judges to mark their ballots. Thank you. Chief Judge. Zoom Master, can you please move me to a breakout room with Chief Judge? Toastmaster, awesome over there. Please put in the cap. I'll be back. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoom Master, for helping me, allowing me to speak. Because here again we are back. So, contestant number 6, please hold on. We have something exciting happening around. Just a while ago, while I was talking about Max and his invention of wheel powered generator. When I was reading through this story, there were some elements which amazed me, like how he put those smallest of resources that was available to him. For example, you know, when he wanted to make a lever, or how he can put the fuel into that. So he didn't have any kind of proper fueling mechanics, and he wanted to close the lid of that tank, which would wherein he would pour the oils for the machine. So you know what he did? He searched around his home.
Hi,
Hi,
I'm back.
thank you.
My apologies.
Continue my story later.
Sure.
Oh.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Contestant number 6, Toastmaster Issa, are you there? Great, I can see you.
Hi.
Hi. Great. Contestant number 6, Toastmaster Issa Lahari, please confirm the timer 1 and timer 2 screens are visible to you.
Yes, they are visible to me. Yes, thank you.
Great. Contestant number 6, Toastmaster Issa Lahari, please repeat the statement after me. I am the champion.
I am the champion.
Thank you. I confirm you're audible and visible. Contestant number 6, Toastmaster Issa Lahari. Beginning of a new beginning. Beginning of a new beginning. Toastmaster Issa Lahari, contestant number 6.
Don't you reminisce about your joyful years of schooling? I'm sure you do, and so do I. Growing up in my elementary years, I was fairly a bright child, and mathematics was one of my favorite subjects. To this day, I vividly recall feeling jubilant passing my 4th grade with good numbers and visualizing how playful my long summer vacation is going to be. But little did I know that these joyous moments were short-lived. That's when my parents had plans to move to a new house during those holidays. And in that neighborhood, I was bullied by this obnoxious hooligan teenager. But I used to keep my wits about myself until one fateful day that I was caught off guard when I was coming back from the grocery store. I see this rambunctious boy holding a pellet gun in his hand and shooting around the bushes as if he's hunting birds. I sensed some malicious intent from him, so I tried to nimble across and get home ASAP. But because I was already on his radar screen, the moment he saw me, he raised the gun at me. And that petrified me. I had no choice but to run in my neighbor's front yard. I ran in and he followed me in. I tried to yell for help, open a door or two, but to my dismay, there was no help available. This thug managed to corner me and yet again pointed the gun at me. I told him, stop, please don't do that. I'm just a 10-year-old boy. Without batting an eye, he gazed at me and ruthlessly pulled the trigger. Bang! I opened my eyes. I realized that I was lying under the surgical lights, surrounded by nurses and doctors. The bullet was stuck in my forehead on the hardest part of my skull, just few mm above my eye, right here. And after a long surgery, it was successfully taken off, and thankfully I survived. But the post-traumatic impact was profound. I suffered from TBI, traumatic brain injury. And as a consequence, I couldn't study anymore. My math became 0. While getting ready for school, I used to beg my mom, please don't send me to school. I don't want to go to school, please. She would look at me and tell me, son, you better get educated and help the world become a better place. I flunked tests. A couple of years down the road, I started smoking cigarettes. I will never forget the day that I was caught while bunking the school in daylight, wearing my school uniform to go and watch this movie, only to find myself standing before my class teacher, the principal, and my father. That day, I was devastated looking at my father's slouched posture and the agony that he was going through because of me. As a teen, I couldn't comprehend what went wrong. I was lost. I was like a ship without a rudder. I had no clue where the ship of my life was headed to. And to add insult to injury, I miserably failed in my 9th grade. I was at the lowest point in my life. Astonishingly enough, an angel descended upon my school, a living example of the poem, She Walks in Beauty by Lord Byron. With her enchanting smile, she would gravitate anybody toward her. No, don't get me wrong. She was an angel-like teacher, a teacher who stepped forward and figured out that I needed some help. She decided to meet my parents, and together they arranged special tutors for me. She gave me books to read. To give me a sense of responsibility, she made me a school prefect, and soon I became the house captain. She encouraged me to take up some sports. I took up basketball, and soon I became the basketball school captain. With this propelling progress, I passed my 9th grade, and the following year I passed my 10th grade as well. My teacher was blown away with my extraordinary transformation. One day, she looked at me and said, with her enchanting smile, "Listen, boy, I want to give you a gift. Tell me what you want." I thought for a moment, then innocently looked at her and said, "Ma'am, I adore your sunglasses. Do you mind me keeping them?" She smiled, and without a second thought, she took them off, put them in the casing, and gave it to me. By the way, those glasses were genderless. Let me show it to you. It's been over 3.5 decades now that I'm keeping those sunglasses very close to my heart. And they are these classic Ray-Bans. And I wouldn't trade the whole world for them. They're priceless for me. I owe my teacher an incalculable debt of gratitude. She was a beacon of light to help me navigate the ship of my life and find my true north. I became an unstoppable lifelong learner. Ladies and gentlemen, somewhere along the way, we must learn that there is nothing greater than helping others, said Martin Luther King Jr. Like my teacher, are you ready to light up a lamp for someone whose life is filled or engulfed with veils of darkness? As Buddha said, if you light up a lamp for someone else, your path will also be brightened. Contest chair.
Thank you. Toastmaster Issa, please accept the participation certificate. Great, thank you. Now we will observe 3 minutes of silence for judges to mark the ballots and finalize the results. Yes, teacher. Thank you, timer. Chief Judge, are you here? Hi, MC. Awesome, Avadai, you're back.
Yes, indeed.
While we are waiting for the Chief Judge, you can go ahead with your...
As I was narrating the story,
Yeah.
you were not there.
Yeah.
So the Max had very limited resources wherein he could go ahead and fill in or complete his machine. So he wanted to have a lid for his fuel pump. So he couldn't find anything. He was roaming around the house, and then he found an old wine bottle's cork. And that cork, he used it on the lid of this tank to seal it off. Like that, there were many parts. For example, when he wanted to have those levers aligned with one another, he didn't know how to go about it. So what he did is that since he was using only the rear wheel of the bicycle, so he used the 4 spokes of the bicycle's front tire and he connected those levers. It was indeed more than engineering. It was his presence of mind that helped him to resource all these elements together and put it forward. So many times we often sit down here and complain that we do not have those requirements. I do not have Apple Mac to do this job. But then if we look around, even the simplest of piece of equipment with your will to propel forward will help us to do it. And I'm sure Mac's story is definitely a one that we could all relate to ourselves. Toastmaster Tulika, you were about to say something. I'm sorry, I came in between.
No, it is a beautiful story and very inspirational as well. And I believe you are from an engineering background as well, right?
Yeah. Yes, I'm an engineer.
Great. So fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I can take over now.
Please.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay, great. So now let's go and go on with the contest. So audience, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone sitting behind the screen and watching us live right now on YouTube, and also who are there here on Zoom. Now is the time to give all our contestants a huge, huge, huge round of applause. So let's clap together for the contestants for doing a fantastic job. This concludes the contest, and I hereby adjourn the District 105 DTAC 2023 International Speech Finals. The results will be announced in the evening after the CGD's address. I request all the contestants to be present at that time with the same screen name as now, and keep your videos on. Toastmasters and guests, thank you so much for your support. And most importantly, I thank our DTAC Education Committee for providing me this opportunity to be your contest chair this afternoon. Now, I would like to request the awesome Avadai, the MC of this evening, to take the proceedings forward. Over to you, Toastmaster Avadai. Just a second.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Indeed, at times when you want to speak, but you do not get a chance, that is where the power of silence comes in. And today, we had many of those silenced moments, but then you took away all those and you tried all those silences into a strength. Wonderful job done. And if your friends are still telling that you are an VRJ, please tell them, no, I am as good as a VJ, and you definitely are. Wonderful job done. Well done, Toastmaster Tulika. Now let us proceed forward. We do have a keynote speaker among with us. And to introduce the keynote speaker, let me invite a person, a software engineer by profession, and he has spent half of his life in Oman. He's partly schooled in Oman, Indian School Muscat. He has been a contestant in DTAC 2019 Table Topic Speech Contest. He was the Division C ambassador for DTAC 2021, and he was the technical chair for DTAC 2022. Currently, he is also part of the Club Growth Directors team in the Marketing and Quality Department. And he is also the Division C's Assistant Division Director for Program Quality and the current Marketing Chair for DTAC 2023. What inspires me about this person is that you do a job, forget it, it's done. Let us welcome a very important person for the DTAC who is going to move us forward. Distinguished Toastmaster, Rohin Kumar. The stage is all yours.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, MC Toastmaster Avdi. It is my honor and privilege to be here on day 3 of District 105 DTAC 2023 to introduce and welcome our keynote speaker. We have just witnessed 6 amazing Toastmasters compete to be crowned as the champion of public speaking from District 105. Each one with a powerful message encapsulated in their own way of storytelling. Now, let us learn some tips and tricks of crafting a captivating story from a master storyteller. Our keynote speaker, Geeta Ramanujam, is an internationally renowned storyteller, educator, academician, and an administrator. She is an Ashoka Fellow, an internationally acclaimed fellowship given to outstanding work in social service field. She founded Kathalaya, International Academy of Storytelling, the only credible and globally recognized academy for storytelling in the world with affiliations to USA, Scotland, and Sweden. Mrs. Geeta Ramanujam has widely traveled to over 43 countries and 27 states in India to establish storytelling as a learning tool. She has set up over 20 centers in India, Ireland, and Latin America. She has completed almost 200 batches of a certified beginner's course level 1, advanced diploma courses level 2, and the train the trainer programs level 3 so far. A whooping 99,491 people have undergone a training program from varied fields. She is also the Indian coordinator for International Storytelling Network, RIC, and the Indian coordinator for Indian Storytelling Network. Mrs. Geeta has several awards to her credit, including the recent International Award for the Best Storyteller at Bocado Storytelling Festival in Brazil, and the Governor of Tamil Nadu has awarded her for the Best Story Narrator. She has won Bangalore Hero Award twice and was recently mentioned by the Indian Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi in his Mann Ki Baat program. Please join me in welcoming on screen Mrs. Geeta Ramanujam with a thunderous round of applause. Ma'am, the screen is yours.
Namaste. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm so happy to be here. What a privilege and pleasure to be here as a keynote speaker for DTAC 105, if I'm right. Yes. And thank you all for inviting me here today. And I have been listening for the last, I think about 20 minutes. And I heard some astounding stories. And it actually gave me a little bit of, oh my God, what am I going to speak? So I think we have some wonderful young people who also are very good with their public speaking skills. And also, I think Toastmasters is very popular in this context, especially in the public speaking area. Well, I got one word from that. I think it was heart. So I think heart is a wonderful thing, isn't it? So my whole life has been thinking more with the heart than with my mind. And I remember a few things, very few things, of course, which my parents left behind for me. The first thing, of course, is what my father said. He said, don't react, but respond. Respond because you can pause and it is something positive. And react can be very negative. And most of our lives, we keep reacting, isn't it? And I think that was a great message that he left behind. The second one is adapt and let go. And I think that's another wonderful message. He didn't leave much money behind when he passed away in 1995. And that's when I became a storyteller. So sometimes I feel perhaps I'm leading his life. He loved traveling. He loved to let go. He loved to share. He loved to give. And I think he planted that seed, his story, in me. And over 42 years, actually, of teaching, learning, facilitating, telling stories, I think I watered that story seed and I gave it some light. And I used what we call as the Neti theory, which is what is not is, which means pulling out all the weeds out, and allowing this beautiful seed to grow into a lovely plant. And today, it has grown into a beautiful storytelling tree. Not only grown as a storytelling tree, but every tree, it's unique, it's beautiful. And invariably, they are givers. And they drop their seeds everywhere, even when they are growing old, especially when they decay. So I think these seeds have also now scattered. And I think I have grown forests of storytellers through my programs. And I'm so grateful to those few words that my parents left behind for me. Well, my mother, she was a very strict person. I'm talking about the time in 1960s when I was growing up in Bombay. And this was the time when there was migration happening. And a lot of people were coming from the little towns to the, cities in search of jobs. And so my father, he was actually a gold medalist in English, but then he took science and he came into the city, which is Bombay, and he got a beautiful job in a place called Caltex, which was an oil company then. My mother, she came from Tanjore, which was a village in south of India. And probably it was the first time she was ever traveling to a city. It was all new for her. And then, well, she was pregnant and I was born. And then I grew up in Bombay, and this was the 1960s. And she was very particular that I don't miss out on speaking the regional tongue, which was Tamil. She had a large family to take care of. So here she was, a little strict, a little short-tempered, but I was the oldest in the family. So what she did was, she used to give me a lot of tasks, because, you know, in those days, there was no grinding machine. There was what we call as ammi, that is a stone to grind. That is what we had there. So in that machine, that stone, it was very easy for her to pack food because she had to pack about 12 dabbas. And she looked at me directly into the eye. And she told me, listen. And when she said listen, she meant it. So I always listened to my mother. And there were 3 instructions that she gave me. She said, when you grind, don't go too fast. Go slow, especially in the middle. Then, when it comes to this consistency, then you remove the paste. And the third one was wash, dry, and go to school. And don't be like the housefly that forgot its name. Now in Tamil, the housefly is called E. So she said, don't be like that E that forgot its name. Now, what do you think a child of 7 would be interested in? Not in the instructions. I was curious. And I wanted to ask my mother, tell me why that E forgot its name. But you know what? If I ask at that time, all I would get is only one answer. Cut! Because in those days, there was no child rights, human rights, nothing. There was only one answer, cut. So I didn't want to ask my mother at that time. So I went to school thinking, why did this E forget its name? And then went through the school, came back. My mother was in a very, very good mood. She gave me coffee and some tiffin. And then I asked my mother, Amma, tell me, why did that E forget its name? Oh, that. And she started the story. And this is how she told the story. Korakora kandre, kandrin taye, tayin vodaya, vodayin kayil kole, kole chuttum kodiye, kodi valarum kulame, kulathil nirkum kokke, kokku pidikkum meene, meen pidikkum valaya, valayin kayil chatti, chatti pidikkum koyavan, koyavan tarum manne, manmel valarum pulle, pullai thingum kudariye, yan perenna. Now, I'm sure you can't make head or tail of this. And same thing happened to me. I stared at my mother. And she said, okay. I know you don't understand. So she was very good with maths. And she said, okay, I'll tell you what the story is. And this is the translation of that story. Which is makhi in Hindi or housefly in English. Forgets its name. So it goes to the calf and says, oh calf, can you tell me what's my name? The calf says, don't ask me, ask my mother from whom I drink milk. Then the housefly goes to the mother. Who's the mother? You all know, right? Calf's mother is the cow. Goes to the cow. The cow says, "Bah. How do I remember your name?" Go and ask the stick that drives me. Drr, drr, drr. Just go and ask the stick. So he goes and asks the stick, and the stick says, "Don't ask me. Ask the pond, blup, 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 in which I grow." Oh, but you said that you're a stick. I forgot. Ask the creeper who grows around me. Oh, listen, ask the creeper. The creeper says, the stick gave you the answer already. Ask the pond in which I grow. The blup, 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 blup goes near the pond. The pond, there is a koku, that is a stalk, a crane standing on one leg. It goes and asks the crane, "Hey crane, tell me, what's my name?" The crane says, "I'm meditating. Anyway, don't ask me. Ask the fish which I eat." And the fish says, "Don't ask me. Ask the net that falls over me." The net says, "Ask the fisherman who throws the net." The fisherman says, "Ask the pot in which I collect the fish." The pot says, "Ask the potter who makes me into a pot." The potter says, "Ask the mud which I mix for the clay." The mud says, "Ask the grass that grows over me." Now, this monkey, this fly, it has been going asking, "Yen per enna, what is my name? What is my name?" Now it doesn't want to know its name. It's fed up. So it is about to give up hope. And just when it's flying back, it's at that time that a horse comes there. And the horse says, and the fly suddenly says, I remember my name now. That was the story that my mother told me. I listened to her. And then she asked me the next question. How many characters? I didn't remember because I hadn't counted. I was so caught in the story that I was just thinking of all the characters in the story. And I still remember this. I was hardly 7 or 8 years old. And I even remember my mother wearing a sari, a yellow sari, as she was narrating the story. So you can imagine what effect a story could have in our childhood, what impressions they have, isn't it? I'm just going to open up a little bit to you to ask you a question. May I?
Sure, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So I want to ask you something. Tell me, first, the house flag, it went to whom? The housefly went first to whom?
Audience, please respond on chat.
It didn't go to the audience, it went to the mother.
It went to calf.
It went to the calf. Perfect. Next, from the calf to?
Mother.
The mother, which was?
The cow.
Cow, wonderful. From the cow to?
Pond.
No, cow to the stick.
Very good. The cow to the stick. From the stick to?
The creeper.
Creeper, fantastic. Creeper to?
Fish.
Pond.
Crane.
Pond. Pond is correct. Pond is correct. From pond to
fish.
Crane.
crane. Wonderful. Pond to the crane. Crane to
Fish.
fish. Fish to
Fisherman.
fisherman. Net.
Net.
Very
Net.
good. Net is correct. Net to
Fisher.
fish. Huh?
Fisherman.
Net to fisherman. Very good. Fisherman to
Pot.
pot. Lovely. Pot to
Mud.
huh?
Clay.
Potter.
Mud.
Clay.
Pot to
Potter.
potter. Very good. Potter. Potter to
Clay.
yeah. Clay. Clay to
Clay to
Grass.
grass.
yeah. So clay is the same as mud. Okay. So mud is the right answer. From mud to
Grass.
grass to
Grass to house.
horse. Very good. So did anyone count the characters now? Okay. Doesn't matter.
16 characters.
Almost, yes. 16 characters is the right answer. So I want to ask you one more question. How did you remember? How did you remember 16 characters?
I was counting each one
In
of them.
hardly 50 seconds.
Because of the sequence, the connection.
What sequence?
Relating to each other.
One
Okay.
by one. One by one.
Relating
it's
to each
linking.
other, you're saying? Okay. Okay.
Linking to one by one.
Linking to one another. So you think if you link, you'll be able to get it? I want to just give a whack on the side of your head. Give a whack. And now tell me, how did you remember?
We're able to picturize.
Yes. Who is this?
That's me.
Rohit. Okay, great. Yeah. So you were able to picturize the characters as I was narrating, isn't it? Yeah. And very strangely, despite technology, artificial intelligence, whatnot, even today, when someone speaks or tells you a story, don't you think you visualize it? Yeah. So the word comes later. The picture comes first. For instance, if I were to say, cannons to the right of them, cannons to the left of them, cannons behind them, volleyed and thundered, stormed that which shot and shell, while horse and hero fell. Into that valley of death rode the 600. It's only words, isn't it? Yeah. So one important thing that you might want to take away from this story, which I took away from my mom, is that you should be able to see the story. So I'm not just telling a story, I am sensing the story, I am touching that story, I am feeling that story, and I am seeing and smelling that story. Now, that is the first step of being a storyteller, is to be a good listener. And listening involves all the 5 senses, which is focused in one place. So that is the first lesson that I learned from my mother. So listening is also learning, because you learn as you listen, and you listen as you learn. 3 important effects that it has. I am so sure you will remember this story, won't you? Yeah. So 3 R's that happen, and this was followed in the oral tradition in all places around the world. is when someone told a story and when people listened, this is what happened in our brain. The 3 R's. First is memory plays a very important role. So you retain. This is called retention. Okay. So you retain, and this is etched in your mind. So retain is the memory box. From retain, you recall. And that's what you all did just now. You said mud, no pot, no potter. Got it? So what we call is a recalling. If you're giving a whack on the side of the head and say, yes, let me say, which is that sequence that came? So recall. And then what did you do? All you had to do is open your mouth and retell. So that's all that storytelling is really all about. So it's not really writing down, mugging up the story and telling it. If you want to read it aloud, read it several times, practice without the script, see the story, transfer the images to your listener. And that can have a very transforming effect. You know, I was listening to many of you, and one of the types, there are 47 types of listening. I'm not going into that, but one of the ways that we listen is, why is storytelling so powerful? Because you look at movies, all movie filmmakers are all storytellers, okay? So one type of listening that I want to share with you, one of them out of the 47 types is, well, there have always been movies ever since we know, right? So when I was young and I went to movies, they were mostly black and white. And, you know, it was because there was no budget at that time. And if you see, 50 years ago and today, the subject hasn't changed. Usually there'll be one hero, 2 heroines, or one heroine, 2 heroes, some triangle, okay, some masala. So that plot will be strong. And in order to help this plot, they would have one villain and one comedy. And then there'll be songs. Now we have Bollywood, Tollywood, Collywood, everything. So we have songs. And these song sequences, usually in those days also, I think now also is a little bit like that the man will chase the woman, right? So she'll be singing, and the most important part in this song will be the moon. Because as I told you, the moon is the most romantic. So how do you bring romance into this? So she'll be singing, Ye raat bigi bigi, ye mast fisaye, ye chandi re. And then he'll come running behind her. And then she'll say, ah, and she'll hold on to a leaf. And then there'll be the moon that will come from that palm tree. And this song will edge into the people's hearts. You know, they'll feel also romantic, isn't it? So now, nothing much has changed. Today, when they shoot, they have one line shot in Eiffel Tower, Paris. The second line will be in Sweden. The third line will be in Oman. Fourth line may be in Dubai. So I have a budget, so I can shoot one line anywhere. But the same sequence continues. That is, the same continuity happens when they sing songs. They're chasing each other. Yeah, that continues. Now, as I told you, the hero and the villain and the comedy. So what happens towards the end? You always build up this. You build it up. So here our heroine is about to be taken off by the villain. So the villain goes to the airport and he races in a car and he stops near the runway. And you see, he is able to take his car right up to the runway because there's no immigration, there's no checking, nothing. So he goes right through. And there he's about to go into the helicopter. And our villain is into the helicopter and he's about to go for his heroine when our hero, say Shah Rukh Khan, is ready and he knows that the villain is going to take away the hero. So what does he do? He takes a car and he goes. Aah. Now what happens in the middle of the road? This is a climax. Right in the middle of the road, the car breaks down and there comes a horse. So he gets onto the horse and he goes over the cars, over everything, and he reaches the same airport. And there he pulls the horse and he goes into the runway just as our villain is taking off in the helicopter. And what does Shah Rukh Khan do? Goes and holds on. And he's lifted in the air. And as he's lifted in the air, the villain knows that he's hanging down. What does he do? Takes his shoes and you'll see everyone in the theater watching the screen. And Shah Rukh, one hand hanging from the helicopter. And then our villain is very upset and both the hands come down. And do you think Shah Rukh will die? No chance, because he is our hero. And this hero can never die. That's the story, isn't it? So when he is coming down, it's at the same time that a person in a lorry has decided to drive. And in his lorry behind, there's a lot of hay. So as he's coming, Shah Rukh is falling down and he falls down on that hay. And now all the villains come and dishum, dishum. And now there's only 2 minutes left of the film. So here, there's a bridge and Shah Rukh has little blood here because he's fought only 20 people. And from the other end of the bridge, our heroine comes. And she comes slow motion. Right? And Shah Rukh, Simran. And he goes to the middle of the bridge. And then the same song comes back. Kuch kuch hota hai. And it's the end. Now, nobody in the theater will get up and say, that's not true. You know why? Because we all love to believe and we identify in ourselves the hero or the heroine. And we love to believe that it's a happy ending because in reality, it may not be true. So we call it willing suspension of disbelief, which means I'm willing to suspend everything which is true and believe in something which is not true. And that is the power of a story. And so you see, whether it's 50 years or 60 years, people have continued telling stories. And they have had a plot, a beginning, a climax, a structure, and an end. But the most important is the flow of the story. Well, I think that I might end with a little tip of a very short story. Then probably I'll throw it open to you to ask me questions. Once upon a time, there was a cat. And she was a very proud mother cat. And she was, and her tail, and as she was relaxed. There were 3 little kittens, and the 3 kittens were suckling. And she heard a sound. It was a street dog. She was cool. She just turned around. Boom! That's what she did. And the dog ran away. And the 3 kittens, they looked up at the mother. You know what she said? She said, it's always good to know a second language. Storytelling is a beautiful language. And I often prod everyone, tell everyone, use storytelling as your second language. I use it as my first language. For the past 42 years, I've been doing this. And I'm so happy to be in this field and to have traveled so many countries to spread this beautiful, lovely art of caring, sharing, and giving. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Geeta, for this wonderful story and the way you have narrated. I'm sure there are lots of Toastmasters around who would get inspired to use the techniques and tips that you have shared in our next speeches. Audience, if you have any queries, you may ask using the chat, and I would be happy to moderate the questions.
There are 50 participants.
I have a question here on the chat. What are the techniques to blend a story with a speech?
Okay, nice question. May I know who's asking this?
This is DTAC Deepa.
Okay. Hi, Deepa. Wonderful, because I just heard your public speakers also, the storytellers. It often tends to be very dramatic. I think just as we talk now and we try to bring a little bit of formality, then we become very conscious when we are ready to speak. We become very stern. And I think we get caught in ourselves. So these 3 things, to let go is very important. To prepare is very important, but not to be too stern and rigid. You know, you can be quite informal, and at the same time, you can have the words in the right order. Yeah, so I think it comes with flow, with experience, with practice. And there is a thin line, I would say, between storytelling and theater. In theater, you have many characters. And we often tend, I'm not saying we shouldn't use body language, I also use. But body language can be something which is like from one place. You can emote all the characters. So storytelling is an exaggeration of what is, but not dramatization. So for instance, I would say, there stood a huge, big mountain, and he measured the heaven and earth, and that can be like a speech. But he felt very lonely. And as he was feeling so lonely and watching that sunset, there came a bird And the bird suddenly came, sat on that mountain, which had a shoulder. So when the bird sat on the shoulder, the mountain, whoa, he rumbled.
Oh, I'm a tiny bird. I'm coming from the Himalayas. I hope I'm not disturbing you because I hurt my left wing and I was wondering where I could stay. Can I please stay for some time till my wings become all right, please?
Okay. So here I'm doing the bird and I'm doing the mountain, but I'm not enacting and moving about too much, but just using a little bit of voice, a little bit. So I'm not saying, and there came a mountain, you know. So you don't have to be very, very dramatic. I know it's a very thin line, but you can have that flow which would merge from the characters to another character. Yeah, I hope I answered your question.
Thank you, madam. I have another question here. Why does a story fail even if you have a very good story, content, characters? Why doesn't it appease the public at the moment?
At the moment, is it a statement that, or it's a question?
It is a question saying that why does a story fail even if you have a good story?
That's it. I think content is important, but your rendering, as I said earlier, is very important. Many times, since I've also been a teacher, I know, if you ask children to tell a story, you know, they would say, once upon a time, land looking for water through flowing. Now there's no coherence. There's no sequence. There's no flow. There's no preparation. The same story, I heard a teacher after training, and you can murder a story or you can, make the story appealing. It all depends on the teller. So there was a headmaster who said, children, once, there was one what? And the children were all staring at him. And then he went on. And this crow was flying and flying and flying, and he went on flying till the period was up. So you see, you can't underestimate, and timing is important. Whereas there was one more teacher, I said, use your strength. There's no one way or one style of telling a story. There are many styles. And she just sang the story. Kage pondu neerike hari hari banditu egiri egiri nintitu bayari nintitu sannadondu hujili haniya neeru kanditu ಆಸೆಯಿಂದ ನೋಡಿತು ನೀರೇ ಎಟಕಲಿಲ್ಲ ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಣ್ಣ ಕಲ್ಲಲು ತಂದು ತಂದು ತುಂಬಲು ನೀರು ಮೇಲೆ ಬರಲು ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ತುಂಬ ಕುಡಿಯಿತು ಬುರ್ರಂತ ಹಾರಿತು ಸರ್ರಂತ ಹೋಯಿತು. This teacher told the story under a tree. No classroom, 200 children, complete attention. So you see, it all depends on the teller and how you're going to bring out that story. So I hope I've answered that question.
Yes, indeed. Another question is how do you get to know the audience for whom we are telling the story?
How do you
know the audience whom I'm telling the story for? Because you need to connect with the audience.
Yes. So I usually like to gauge the audience first. Because I know who the audience are. But like today, this is a mixed audience. You just have to plunge, right? Because you need to have that confidence, especially when you can't see your audience also. It's even more tough. But most of the time, 99%, a storyteller has the audience before her. And I tell people that a teller needs to listen to the listener. And that happens with experience. So you kind of get a sense. So sometimes what I do is this. I do an activity. And that's how I gauge. So I involve them in a song. Or I say, who am I? Everyone says, you're Geeta. I said, no. Who am I actually? Why am I here? And they say, you're a storyteller. I said, okay, let me do an activity. Say, I am a storyteller. I'm going to say that. And you're going to tell in the same tone, you are a storyteller. So what I do is I use different tones and they repeat. And they say, you are a storyteller. And I say, I am a storyteller. And they also say, you are a storyteller. Now you see, you've got the audience in. And then I say, okay, so a long, long time ago, you know. So once you get them involved with an activity or a song or an action, then I think you've broken the ice. And that way, I think it's easier to gauge your audience.
I have another question here asking, is posh language important in storytelling?
No. No, my answer is no. But if you're going to speak in English, you might as well get the language right. You could do the story bilingual like I did when my mother told me the story, right? So it was a bilingual. It was Tamil and English. So whatever you're doing, do it well. If you're doing bilingual, also do it well. But you can use a lot of, and sounds, of course. So that doesn't come under language, right? Posh language. Brr. Or, you know, ow. Or, ow. Or, you know, when I tell, even for adults, I tell this. There was a frog that came hopping, singing a song. Right? So that's not posh. So letting go. So you don't have to, but when you're using words, I would rather that you use simple, very simple words. Because remember, I told you, one needs to see the story. Yeah.
I think we have a lot of teachers or educators in the group. They're asking how to use storytelling for education to the current K-12 students.
12 students. Oh my God. Okay. It's a huge thing. I think you should come and attend my course. Because I have what is called as a beginner's course for 3 days, which I do. And then I also have a diploma course, which actually is 4 days residential, but it has a 1-year field work. You can even be at Oman and do it. And you can join my course, because I think it's not a question that I might like to answer in 1 minute. But this is what I started my career. I was an educator and librarian for 25 years, after which I started storytelling 25 years ago. So it's been a long journey. So 25 years to say how to integrate stories with curriculum. I'm also on the CBSE board, and we are introducing storytelling into as a pedagogical tool from this June. And it's already become a tool in the international baccalaureate schools. So please come to attend, join the course and learn a little in a more lengthy fashion, I would say. Yeah, there's no one-line answers.
Definitely, definitely. Another question is there any online platform available for making kids learn the art of storytelling? Any institutes globally or in Oman?
Oman, I'm not too sure, but in Dubai we have, and I think if you go into storytelling, now the Google has all your answers. So you'll find innumerable sites, right from UK, London to all places in the world, because I think now storytelling is the word and everybody's using it for either business. There's business storytelling, there's corporate storytelling, there's marketing, storytelling for customer relationship, storytelling for educators, everything. Yeah, all available.
I have one last question before we wind up. This is how dangerous are the indicators if no one in the audience nods his head or a smile, no reaction, just gazing at the storyteller blankly?
I love that. Just want to quote a little incident. Since I travel around the world, most of the time I'm asked to do storytelling performances. And these performances are based on stories that are either from the Indian mythology or what you call as parallel stories that you draw from other religions too. So I remember that I'm called almost every year, alternate year, to Scotland. And I also go to Brazil. So I want to just tell you that in Scotland, for instance, the audience, they're all sitting there. And I have to tell my story. It's for nothing less than 1 hour. So here I'm telling the story and I'm using all my expressions. And I'm saying that this bird, was flapping its wings and flying. And I know in India, people would probably be looking at me, the children would be looking at me, or even the adults would. But here you'll find the audience all straight sitting there and no reaction at all, at all. So here, what I do is this, that I make a cloud for myself. And I imagine that they're all actually with me in the story. Okay, because I'm confident about the story. And if there's no interruption from the other side, and if nobody's stopping me, I'm sure that they're enjoying the story. Okay, so I continue. Now, in this audience, I remember when I told the story of how the peacock came to be and the transformation of a beautiful swan. And when I told these two stories, and I finished the story, they all stood up and they gave me a standing ovation for not less than 15 minutes. I got a standing ovation from them. So they were not nodding, they were not smiling, but they clapped at the end. And that is their way of showing their appreciation. But I had the opposite view in Brazil. There were 1,000 audience and I started the story. And as I began the story, and I started using a little bit of my body language and, flapping and doing the same kind of story, everyone said, muito bem, linda, 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 whoa, whoa. They shouted, they screamed, and I couldn't continue the story. Because, they are so proactive, they are so appreciative. So one of the announcers had to actually tell them, can we please hold on till she finishes the story? So you see, you'll have both type of responses for your story. But as long as you are confident, and that's, again, I have to thank my mother, because one lesson that she taught me is, go, be confident, never have fear. I think that's the greatest problem that we all have, is that we are all afraid. So I think fear, no, just go. And even if you fail, it's fine. It's fine if you fail. Should be ready for it. Yeah. I think that's.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Giza. May I quickly invite our DTAC chair, DTM Rajendra Verma, to thank our keynote speaker.
Thank you very much, Rohin, and thank you very much, Geeta Madam. Once again, a round of applause for her.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
When we were actually looking for keynote speakers, we are normally accustomed to have Toastmaster related speakers, wherein, we have some world champions, previous world champions, or we have some accredited speakers, or, some associates, which we are going to have in the next 2 days. So we have one accredited speaker in the next week. We also have one associated. When I say associated, I mean the UGLI, for example. TMI has had a talk with UGLI Foundation, and we have called the founder of that foundation to address us for one. But both of them are Toastmaster related. And we in the DTAC core committee, we decided that let us have somebody who is not from Toastmaster fraternity, and let us get a different flavor. And that is how basically you fitted into this slot. I saw some of your videos. I saw some of your consulted my team. And we said, yes, let us do something differently. And today I should admit that it has been a refreshingly good flavor that we tasted. Yes, it's not in the Toastmaster template, it's not in the speech making template, but as we all know, and as you also rightly expressed, definitely there is a story in every speech that you give. Now, how you want to use the story, how you want to use your voice or body movement, to what extent you want to use so that it creates that impact in your story, that is up to any individual and their respective styles of speaking. Everybody may not be comfortable making the noise of a horse like you did. But the point is, if they are able to convey that point, whatever they're trying to tell the audience, and if it is conveyed through in a different manner, I think the impact is got, and that is what is important. So we have really learned yet another way of adding stories in our speeches. And thank you very much for being a part of this DTAC. And we're really grateful to you for having taken some time and shared your stories. An eminent personality like you, it is our proud privilege to have you amidst us. Thank you. Thank you very much. Over to you, Rohan.
Thank you. Now that concludes the keynote address. I will hand over the session back to the MC, Toastmaster Avade.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Rohan. And Madam Geeta, thank you for wonderfully telling us a story. In our District 105, we also have a club which specializes completely in storytelling, universal storytellers we are. Please do come and join us, visit us, and we meet every Saturday. Maybe after the DTAC, you can please drop in there. I'll send you the link personally. Thank you for that wonderful words of wisdom. Really, the songs that you put in, both in Tamil and Kannada, touched hearts, especially the feelings of it. Thank you. Wonderful. Let's move ahead and hear some more words of wisdom. And who are we inviting today? Let us invite a person who is a biochemist, a Hindustani vocal, a passionate baker, photographer. She has served as judges for various debates, elocutions, an equally passionate Toastmaster for more than 12 years. She holds the strong core values of Toastmasters. Currently, she is holding the position of Club Growth Director for District 105. Let us all put our hands together and welcome distinguished Toastmaster Shamima Ahmed. Ma'am, the stage is all yours. Over to you.
One second. Am I audible and visible?
Yes.
Loud and clear.
Okay, right? Just give me 1 second. I think I am having some issue with myself. Can I just have 1 second, please?
Time is all we have for you.
Yes. Am I audible and visible now? Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Actually, I wasn't hearing myself. Sorry for it. Good afternoon, and thank you, Avade, for that beautiful introduction. It actually gives me goosebumps to be addressing a DTAC forum, a first for me. But having said that, it is also immensely satisfying to see the happenings so far, the near flawless execution in the previous days and the quality of the speeches, the overall contest, and the brilliant digital presentation of the event. And I must say,
Congratulations to all of us in District 105. The legendary British musician Peter Brian Gabriel once said, "Surround yourself with brilliance." And for us all, it is very important to do so. And here we are today in this magnificent weekend to surround ourselves again with the brilliance of District 105. Its arsenal of blue chip speakers and the dazzling DTAC 23 organizers. As someone having seen DTACs from close quarters many times, I know what it takes to plan, to coordinate, and to execute an online contest of this scale. Complexity, and most importantly, the required discipline and integrity. And this is just a mind-boggling effort. Dear Toastmasters, DTACs are so very special every year because it is here where we reinforce and celebrate our commitment as Toastmasters. Its sheer magnificence in the level of competition, the elite benchmarking in contest integrity, and most importantly, the universally inclusive nature of the event itself. And if our iconic DTAC contestants are listening to me now, I hope many are there, let me convey to you that today we all are here to get inspired by each one of you through your journey as communicators par excellence. Yes, we all love to hear you. Yes, you all are here to win the DTAC 2023 trophy. But can I also humbly urge you, just remember, it's not only the shining trophy that counts, but the glittering journey you all have had so far, the toil, efforts, and the character that will remain with you forever, come what may. Dear leaders, before I sign off as Club Growth Director in this DTAC 2023, I thank you for your tremendous efforts and commitment towards our clubs and membership growths. As a district, like many others, we have genuine challenges and opportunities as well. And I'm here, I'm sure they shall all ignite our common resolve to touch the finishing line on June 30th with aplomb. I wish DTAC 2023 team all the very best. And dear contestants, may you all be at your brilliant best today and the rest of DTAC 2023. Over to you, Toastmaster Abodai.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Shamima. Wonderful. And I'm sure with your words and keeping in mind all those trophies, we will definitely touch that finishing line with a bang. That's what I hear from you as a Club Growth Director. Thank you. Now let us hear from a person whom I little of know, but I do know something about him. Let me share it. He is also our Club Growth Director. He is a public speaker, trainer, digital marketing consultant. He has been in the international speech contest, DTAC, 3 times. Yes, and he has been in Oman since 2001. He is a digital marketer and entrepreneur, a managing director of 2 digital marketing companies, the Spectrum Solutions in the Middle East and Wildvex Private Limited in India. And just a little bit of additional information. He has a cute car, a wife, and a wonderful daughter. And not to forget his lovely pet, Coco, the cat. Let us welcome distinguished Toastmaster, Saiju Victor. Over to you.
Thank you. Am I audible, visible? Thank you. Thank you, amazing Awadai, respected district director, charismatic PQDs who conceptualized this wonderful DTAC, my fellow district leader Shamima and other DTM Shamima and others, DTAC chair DTM Rajendra Verma and his wonderful team who made this wonderful DTAC possible. So one of the main reasons why fellow Toastmasters and contestants we all hesitate to be part of a contest is because of comparison. We feel that there is a danger being compared with somebody else. So that stops most of us from competing. Today, inspired by Madam Geeta, let me tell you a story, a Zen story. There was a monastery wherein there were two monks, young monks, Virat and Mahendra. They were equally spectacular. So the entire monastery was divided into two. Some thought that the cool and composed Mahendra was the best, but the others thought, no, Virat, he is the best one. Both Mahendra and Virat were good friends, and one day Virat told Mahendra, look, we all have come here to get enlightened, to find the meaning of life. But my dear friend, I feel that I get discouraged at times because of this constant comparison. Mahendra said, yeah, I agree with you. I also feel the same. I get a bit frustrated at times. As I was speaking, the head monk walked towards him and he joined the conversation. And he said, you both are simply different expressions of the same truth, different sides of the same coin. You don't have to get worried about comparison. He showed his hand towards the beautiful garden of the monastery. He said that, look at those flowers. They bloom in their own time. They don't get worried about each other. They don't get worried about being compared. Each flower blooms with its own color, its own shade, its own shape, and its own fragrance. And that adds to the beauty of that garden. Similarly, we each of us have our own reasons and seasons for blooming. And it's natural that when two trees grows up together, people may draw comparison. But the tree that ignores it and absorbs the good element around it and grows will become fruitful. The disciples were delighted. They said, thank you, Sachinji. Dear friends and Toastmasters, contest season is a wonderful time of Toastmasters, or a wonderful season of Toastmasters, where contestants are at the risk of being compared. But if we don't have to dwell, or we have to be deep into that pit of comparison, instead take out the best out of it. And then believe that we are all unique. We are all different in our own ways. Personally, first 7 years of my Toastmaster journey was dedicated to contests. And I'm a firm believer that each contest, in fact, adds up a turbo engine to our Toastmaster learning mission. It opens up doors of opportunities and windows of realization. It all depends how much are we ready to absorb from them. So dear Toastmasters, make use of every contest season. Experiment with your skills. Experiment your ideas and thoughts. And like our founder said, because we learn most in the moments of enjoyment. So enjoy every outing that you have as a Toastmaster during a contest. And I wish all the best to all those contestants who have competed here. Thank you. And over to you, amazing Avadai.
Thank you very much. Oh, wonderful story. I'm sure that the oldest monk or the old monk, Sunil Gavaskar, will definitely agree with you and what Sachin has told. And your words of experimenting. That's what right now I'm doing and enjoying the process. Let's move forward. And what are we here for? Now we are going to go ahead to felicitate our role players. Before Could I have the help of the Zoom master for this? Thank you very much, Zoom Master Hari Prasad, for helping me out. Now, first we are going with the Zoom Master, Toastmaster Bharati. Next, we have. Thank you very much. Let us take this moment and applaud all the role players. And I'm going in with each and every one separately. Toastmaster Rajesh, who supported us the Zoom Master for the morning session. Toastmaster Swapna for again supporting us the Zoom Master. Thank you very much. Toastmaster Hari Prasad, the one who is right now presenting as the Zoom Master. Thank you. Toastmaster Naresh, again, who is acting as the Zoom Master. Well done, sir. Thank you. Toastmaster Rafid, who is again a Zoom Master. Let's fill the screen with the emojis, please. And Toastmasters Ashish Kolte, who has worked as a timer. Indeed, the most difficult job in any Toastmaster session, that too in a contest. Well done, sir. Thank you. Let's move ahead. Toastmaster and Viramantri, again as the timer. Great job, ma'am. Toastmaster Hania as the timer. We appreciate. Toastmaster Varghese Chiran as the timer. Thank you very much, sir. Toastmaster Abdul Aziz, again, he has helped us out as the timer. Let's appreciate him. The next slide, please. Toastmaster Ravinder Singh Pannu as the timer. Thank you. Toastmaster Roji Satish, who opened the meeting in the morning today as the Chief Sergeant at Arms. Thank you. Well done, job. Toastmaster Subia Mashir, who opened the afternoon session as the Chief Sergeant at Arms. Well done, ma'am. Toastmaster Mohammed Abid, who has tirelessly helped us out as the Sergeant at Arms, wherever it's called off. Toastmaster Mibin as again the Sergeant at Arms. Toastmaster Anil Thomas as the Master of Ceremony for the morning session, whose energy and perseverance I would be no match of. Well done, sir. And yours truly, thank you very much. Let's go on to the next slide, please. Toastmaster Shamla Sankar as a contest chair for the humorous speech contest in the morning. Distinguished Toastmaster Abida Akhtar as the contest chair in the morning. Well done, ma'am. Thank you. Toastmaster, still I have a doubt. Is it RJ or VJ? Tulika, well done. As a contest chair. Distinguished Toastmaster Ramesh Menon as the Chief Judge for the morning session. Thank you, sir, for your service. Distinguished Toastmaster David Griffith for being the Chief Judge for the morning session. Thank you, sir. Distinguished Toastmaster Gurbinder Singh Pun for your tireless effort and service as the Chief Judge. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's it from me. And now we end this session. Okay, what are we all waiting for? Yeah, okay. Let me call upon the Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Anil Thomas, to take it on and give us the glimpse of the results, what has happened in the morning. Toastmaster Anil, it's all yours. Sir, I am not able to hear your voice. Still the silence is speaking.
Bode, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now better.
Right, thank you so much. Toastmaster Abode and Toastmaster Tuliga. Together you rocked and managed your session beautifully. Wonderful session it was. It's my honor to introduce two powerful women yet again. Their contribution to day 3 was immense. To announce the qualifiers of DTAC 2023 Humorous Speech Contest Semi-Final Group A, let me invite Toastmaster Shamla. Welcome, Toastmaster Shamla.
Toastmaster Anil, I hear that Madam Shamla is having a technical glitch. Can you please proceed further with the next contest chair?
Toastmaster Shamla, are you there? Okay. All right, perfect. I think Shamla is having some technical glitches. So let me invite DTM Abida to announce the qualifiers, DTAC 2023 Humorous Speech Contest Semi-Final Group B. Welcome, Toastmaster Abida.
Well, thank you, Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Anil Thomas. And now it's time to announce the qualifiers for the Humorous Speech Contest Semi-Finals Group B in no particular order. There was no disqualification due to time. And to announce the qualifiers, here we go. Toastmaster Prashant Ramakrishna, Toastmaster Loyola Pinto, and Toastmaster Lana Taba. Congratulations, qualifiers. Are they spotted? May I request Toastmaster Prashant Ramakrishna, Toastmaster Loyola Pinto, and Toastmaster Lana Taba to switch on your cameras? So now, may I request our Zoom master to capture this wonderful, memorable moment. And I also request our chief judge, distinguished Toastmaster, David Griffiths. Can we spot him as well and get him into the screen? So can we have the widest smile on earth? Is it over? Master? This concludes the District 105 DTAC 2023 Humorous Speech Contest Semi-Finals Group B. I thank DTAC, the entire DTAC team, for giving me this opportunity to serve as a contest chair. May I now request our Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Anil Thomas, to take over the further proceedings. Over to you, Toastmaster Anil Thomas.
Thank you, DTM Abida. On a personal note, this was a huge learning for me as well. We want to be remembered for our value and contributions, not for our faults and flaws. Executing great work is an effective way to become more and more memorable role players. Thank you all for the support system that we have created together. I think Shamla is still fixing her computer. So let me go back to Master of Ceremony Abodai. Can you please take it over from me and then come back with the other qualifiers, please, while she's still fixing the PC.
Sure, thank you. It would be my pleasure. Before moving ahead, we have around 65 participants on the house and also lot many in the YouTube. Can we have a group photo with every one of us? We might feel that, Madam Shamala also would be here by the time. Zoom Master, on your call. Thank you very much, Master, for your indication. Thank you, everyone, for switching on your video and getting us all clicked together. Now, let us call upon Toastmaster Tulika Pradeep to present the results of the much-awaited international finals. Over to you.
Thank you. Actually, Toastmaster Shamala is already here. So do you want to go ahead with her?
It would be a pleasure to hear you both, but then you can decide. Maybe you can go ahead first and then we can ask Madam Shamala.
Whatever. I'm okay. I'm okay. Sure. Perfect. Thank you so much, Master of Ceremonies. Awesome over there once again for giving me the stage. And now is the time that all of us have been waiting for, right? This is the time where we wanted to know what exactly is going to be the result. So let's not wait any time further and let me share my screen. I request all the participants of international contest to please switch on their videos first, so I can see you all. Okay, I can see 2. What about the rest? Please come on video. Okay, thank you. International final contestants, please come on video.
I'm not able to connect. Can you?
Okay, Zoom Master. Sure. Can you try now? Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. Hi, I see you. Fantastic. Great. So I can see most of you are here. Okay, great. So let's go on to announcing the results of International Speech Contest. Great. I hope you can see my screen. Let's move on. So the first, let's go ahead and talk about who is going to be the 3rd place winner for DTAC 2023 International Speech Finals Contest. So the 3rd place winner of District 105 International Speech Contest 2023 is Toastmaster Harish Buji. Please give him a huge round of applause. Congratulations, Toastmaster Harish Buji. Now let's look at the second place winner of International DTAC International 2023 Speech Contest. The second place goes to Toastmaster Devi Narayan. The first place, before I proceed with the first place, I would like to inform you that we just had one disqualification, and that's it, and rest everyone was qualified. So let's move on to the first place winner. The first place winner for DTAC 2023 International Speech Contest Finals is this contestant will represent us in the regional quarterfinals. So let's put our hands together and clap for the contestant who is Toastmaster Yusuf A. Congratulations. Now I would request the winners to please come on video so that we can take a picture together. And congratulations to the winners. Just a second. Chief Judge, can I request you to please come on camera? And also the contest DTAC chair, Toastmaster Rajendra Verma, please come on camera as well. Zoom Master, if you can please highlight him as well. Perfect. Thank you so much. So let's take a picture together with the winners of DTAC 2023 finals. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Congratulations. So once again, we have the pride of DTAC 105, Toastmaster Yusuf, who is going to represent us in DTAC regional quarterfinals. So congratulations and mabruk. Well done, and all the very best for the next step. Thank you. And over to you, to the awesome MC. Please go ahead, take the proceedings forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, now let us call upon our humorous MCs here, and let us call upon Toastmaster Shamla Shankar to take it forward.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abodai. I will now be announcing the names of the qualifiers in no particular order. The qualifiers for District 105 Humorous Speech Contest Semi-Finals Group A in no particular order. Toastmaster Hashem Halim. Toastmaster Jem Palomar. Toastmaster Shazia Mohideen. May I request all the contestants all the winners to come to be spotlighted for a photograph? Our CJ DTM Ramesh Menon, could you please join us? Toastmaster Hashim. Toastmaster Hashim. He's not around. Toastmaster Hashim. Zoom Master, can you please take a photograph? Thank you. Congratulations to all the qualifiers. Let's applaud the qualifiers with a huge round of applause. This concludes the District 105 DTAC 2023 Humorous Speech Contest Semi-Final Group A. Thank you DTAC for giving me this opportunity. Over to you, Master of Ceremony, Toastmaster Anil Thomas.
Thank you, Contestant Shamla. Without much delay, let me hand over it to Toastmaster Avodey. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. And again, we have created a wonderful learning together. And thank you each and everyone at the DTAC Executive Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Anil, for your wonderful way of conducting the events, and also the contest chairs equally put forward all the results very well defined, in order, precise, and also you maintain that excitement. And in all this excitement, let us take a moment to thank our sponsors for the day. We do have a wonderful sponsor for the day. It is Al Baja Group. Let us, give them a big round of applause. Our sponsors who have helped us to conduct this day, and I'm sure that we thank them from the bottom of our heart. Moving forward, I would request all the role players just to be here for a debriefing meeting with the DTAC chat, of course. And it's time for us to say bye for now. But don't go away. On 26th of May, Friday, at 7 p.m., please let us all get together again for the DTAC 2023 Evaluation Contest Semi-Final Group B. And to add to it, there is also an inspiring keynote speech. Looking forward to that. And it's bye from me. At this point in time, let me thank all the role players, all those participants, the contestants, everyone who, and also of course, the DTAC team who gave me this opportunity to express and explore myself. And what a fun-filled day we have had. A lot of learnings. Thank you very much and bye.